Okay, so I'm in Oakland right now, and I just dropped a passenger off, and on the way over here, just 2 miles from here, okay, 2 miles from here, there's just a massive, I think I'm going the wrong way right here. It's okay, we'll all live. Okay, so 2 miles from here, there's a massive homeless population under a bridge. They've got so many tents and tables and chairs. It's starting to turn into a civilization of sorts. It's a pretty civilization, whatever. It's huge. And I'm gonna go by it right now if I can see it, and I'll show you guys how big this population is, if I can remember where it is. And I had a passenger, and I commented on it, the tent city, as we passed it. We were both like, yeah, man, that's a lot of people right there. And after we passed it, I made some sort of a comment. I said, probably once the homeless population reaches 50% of us, once half of us are homeless and half of us are not, then we will start noticing them. And then I was like, no, it's gonna have to be like the homeless population is over 50%, and then we'll start noticing them. And he's like, yeah, good point. And he did not comment any further. What's the word? Further, he's reiterating the point I was trying to make himself. He's reiterating it. We don't give a shit about the homeless people. And even though I talk about it a lot, I can't honestly say that I really care a whole bunch. I'm desensitized to it as well. We all are. If we really cared, I would get out of my car and I would just go walk over and I would talk to them. Right? Maybe we're just too scared. That's why me and my buddies, Dustin and David, not Dustin, okay. Yeah, it's okay to say their names. That's why we're trying to talk about how to address these issues. And we still haven't actually done anything yet. I think I'm scared to do it. I'm scared that, number one, I'm scared that I won't care. Like, I'll get into it, I'll talk to one of them, and then I'll get turned off by their personality. I'll get turned off by something, and then I just won't want to associate with them anymore. And then I'll feel guilty because I was pretending that I gave a shit. That's, I think, one of the big reasons why I don't want to actually go and try to do something, because I'm afraid that I'm just fearful in general of trying to actually address the issue. Because I know it's big. I know if I actually do that, it's going to either be a big success or it's going to be a big crash, because I'm going to shy away from it. Because I know it's not as simple as, oh, let's go talk to a homeless person, and then all of a sudden he'll come up with a solution and we'll all magically erase the homeless problem. Because I know that's not going to happen. But at the same time, it's in my consciousness. It's bugging me. When I see homeless people, it's just bugging the shit out of me. So I'm kind of torn on that issue. Yeah. Thoughts on homeless people? I mean, as far as I can see, what the majority of Americans do is they take a mindset that doesn't make them feel personally guilty for the homeless. So they'll say, well, it's their choice. They could have made better choices in their lives, and it's their fault, basically, that they're in this situation. Or they'll say they're addicted to drugs and alcohol, and therefore they can't hold a job, and therefore they can't pay for their apartment, and that's why they're homeless. Or they'll say they burned all their bridges, and they cut every last tie to every last human being that could have offered them support, and therefore they're homeless. And maybe all these are valid reasons. Maybe the homeless population is actually there for just genuine and valid reasons, and there's going to be homeless people no matter what. I could accept that, but the only reason I can't accept that, the only reason my mind refuses to let me accept that what the fuck am I trying to say? Explanation? Okay, yeah. The only reason my mind refuses to accept that explanation is because there are countries. I gotta stop saying there's for there are. There are countries where there are no homeless people. And of course, I'm exaggerating that. There are not no homeless people. There are just very, very few homeless people. Like, I had a Russian passenger. And you could say, well, Gary, Russia, of course there are no homeless people, because the homeless people all died of frostbite. It's too cold to be homeless in Russia, so you just die, or they get robbed or murdered. And maybe that's true, I don't know. But from the research that I've done in the past, and I know I need to update my research. If I'm going to actually try to do something about the homeless situation, I have to do some more new and updated research. I haven't done it in a long time, but in the past, I've done research, and I've found that in other countries, especially countries like European, like Switzerland, Norway, these countries that are supposed to be progressive and happier and not capitalistic and profit-driven machines, and they seem to be more caring as a whole because they're not driven as much by money. Socialist countries. These countries seem to have less issues than us. They don't have all of the weight issues. They don't have all of the homeless issues. They don't have all of the medication issues. All of the issues that we've created, it seems like in these other countries, and these other countries, they seem to have less of a problem than we do. With everything. With the whole shebang. We get ourselves into huge amounts of debt to go to college. Just that video that I made on SCM, on the surveillance cameraman, that one point that I made where all of the Americans were just thrown into a fit of rage immediately when this guy was filming them, and they didn't know what was going on. And then countries like Australia and Russia, the dude was like a fucking fly on the wall. Like, they knew he was there, but they didn't give a shit. Right? So we're fucking children here. We're little babies. We don't know anything. We're ass backwards in most things, and we don't discuss our issues. I know I'm talking shit on my own country. I understand that. Somebody's got to fucking do it. If I see problems and I don't talk about it, then guess what? This shit sits inside of me, and it burns a hole in my fucking heart, in my soul. It just burns and burns. So, like Jazz was saying earlier, these videos are cathartic, but at the same time, I would like to actually accomplish something here, not just release pent-up energy. I would like to actually accomplish something. So if we see an issue such as homelessness and we would like to address it, I want to actually address it. I don't want to just have these grand ideas And yeah, I would like to actually take action towards the issue. Right? Yes. So, thoughts of the day. I'm just going to title this Homelessness. Please let me know what you think about homelessness, because as Americans, we do not fucking discuss this issue at all. And they're human beings. They are humans. They're not homeless people. They're just human beings. I know we live in the fucking American caste system, and they need to be there in order for rich people to exist because we live in duality. I understand that fucking part. But aside from that, they're still humans, and we should care for them better than we do. So that's that. Those are my 2 cents. Comment with your 2 cents. All right. Good night, guys. Peace.